These are the next two consonant sounds we're going to target. B as in buy and P as in pie. So, one is voiced and the other is unvoiced. Remember how to distinguish voiced and unvoiced? Put your hand over your throat and you can feel the vibration. So the first sound, B, B. You can feel the vibration in your throat. The second sound, P, P. No vibration. So the second sound is a very quiet sound. P, P, as in pie. And B, the first sound voiced, B, buy. Now the second thing that I really want you to notice is the force of the sounds. I want you to put your hand over your mouth and feel the air on your hand. Let's try the first sound. B, B, B. You can feel a little burst of air on your hand. Now let's try the second sound. P, P, P. The burst of air is much, much stronger. Even though the sound is quieter, the burst is much stronger. Okay? So this is also a difference between the two. B is less forceful than P, P. Okay? Buy, pie. So P, the second sound, is much more forceful. This is because when we have a voiced sound, for example, B, our voice actually makes a sound. The vibration is quite loud. But when we have a sound like P, there's no vibration. So we have to actually force more air to produce some noise. Otherwise, there would be no noise. So that's why unvoiced sounds are very often more forceful in the air that we push out. So just keep this in mind when you're producing these sounds. P is much more forceful. Let's move on now to the target sound practice for the first sound, the voiced B. Remember, as you can see, my lips are closed and then opened. This is how we make the sound. First the lips are closed and then we release the air. B, B. Can you see that? Exactly the same with the second sound, except it's unvoiced. P, P, as in pie. So we're building up the air in our mouth and then we're opening the lips to release the sound. This is how you make this sound. So the first target sound practice. Listen and repeat after me. Bus, job, label, double, rabbit, blueberry, bananas, brother, Brazil. Okay, one thing I want you to notice with the B sound. When it's at the beginning of a word, it's usually more forceful. Let me give you an example. Bus, bus. However, when it comes at the end of a word, for example, job, you can hear that it's not as strong. Okay? Bus, job. So there is a difference between some sounds when they come at the beginning of a word and at the end of a word. Okay? It's the same sound, but there's slightly less force at the end of a word. The same goes for the P sound. which you'll see in just 1 second. So just keep that in mind. Some sounds in English have a slight difference when they're at the beginning to when they're at the end. Okay? Now let's move on to the second target sound practice. This is for the unvoiced p sound. Remember, close your lips, build up the air, and open your lips to release the sound. Listen and repeat after me. Push, pen, puppy, help, lamp, pepper, passport, people, Paris. So again, let me just take your attention to the sound when it's at the beginning of a word and at the end of a word. So when it's at the beginning, it's more forceful. Push, push. When it's at the end, it's slightly less forceful. Help, help. Can you feel the difference? You repeat after me. Push, help. A little bit different. Same sound, just slightly less force. Now let's move on to the minimal pairs. This will help you really distinguish the difference between the two consonant sounds, the voiced and the unvoiced. So on the left we have the B sounds, and on the right the P sounds. So listen to each pair and repeat. Bin, pin. Bear, pear. Blank, plank. Robe, rope. Cab, cap. Beach, peach. Excellent. So I hope now you can feel the difference between the two sounds when they're at the beginning and at the end of a word, and the difference between the two sounds themselves. Now, the last section, the target sounds in use. Let's have a look at the sentences. The first one, we're targeting the B sound, the voiced sound. So again, listen and repeat after me. Billy bought Albert a book about Britain. Sentence 2, we're targeting the unvoiced P sound. Listen and repeat. Philip, please put the potatoes in the pan. And the third sentence, we have a mix of the two target sounds. Brian always plays badminton with Paul. They both hope to become Olympic champions. So there we go, 2 more consonant sounds done. Of course, don't stop here. Move on to the extra resources, the extra video I provide for you with a close-up of my mouth, the PDFs, and most importantly, the MP3s. Grab all of those and start to really master these 2 English sounds.